In this video, we are going to see how we can write tests for our model classes, and we are going to use the job class as an example. So I can open the job file over here, and I'm going to move it to the right window. And in particular, we are interested in writing tests for the from map and to map methods that we use to read and write data with Firestore. And I think it's especially important to have test coverage for data that we read from Firestore, because Firestore is a schema-less database where the data is not structured. So adding tests to model classes is a good way to ensure that our client application processes the data correctly. So our next step is to create a new Dart file called job_test. And in here, we're going to add some tests for this class. So let's start by importing Flutter test, and then we can add the void main method. And in here, we can create a new group called from map. And this is because we want to test this method first. And the first test that we want to write should check that if we get a null data argument, then we return null. So we're going to write a test called null data, and inside the test body we can write final job equals job.from map with null, and then for example ABC as the document ID, and we need to import job as well. And then we can have an expect with job equals null, like this. And I'm not going to run this, but I can assure you that this test will pass. Next, we need a test to check that when we pass a map with a name and a rate per hour, then a job is created and the corresponding properties are set. So here we could create a new test named job with all properties, like this. And then we could create a final job equals job.from map, and here we could pass a map with a name of, for example, blogging, and a rate per hour of 10, and we could pass a document ID of ABC, like this. And then we need to write our expectations. So here we could type expect and then job.name to be equal to blogging. And then we could also expect that job.rate per hour is equal to 10. And finally, job.id to be equal to ABC. And at this stage, we could run the tests. And as we can see, we get a success. However, I think that these three expectations are quite verbose, and instead I would prefer to write something like expect with job, and then equal to job with name of blogging, and rate per hour of 10, and job and ID to be ABC, like this. So with this change, I can remove the previous lines and I can run the test again. And as we can see, this time we get an error saying that we expected an instance of job and the actual value was also an instance of job. So let's try to understand this in the next video.